Yes, I'm sure Drake has the power to blackball you, which is a sucker move, but you can't define the clapback now, can you? This week on Hip Hop Stocks. Music is down. As expected, we are experiencing a pullback. This is when stocks are overpriced and we're seeing a natural decline. Reason being, the success of the J. Cole album. We only get 5 to 10 albums of that quality a year, and now we're coming back down to reality. And this is Freddy Krueger's reality, when you get a project like Bobby Sessions' Gold Rolex predictably take a nosedive. You had all of the talent in the world to actually make something with purpose, and you let promotion get in the way, or a lackluster 42 Doug that became, what, a Kodak impersonation? Like, who really wants to be Kodak Black right now? But it wasn't all that bad. The Black Soprano family, which is my favorite variation within Griselda, dropped a solid project in that Trust the Sopranos. Most notably the song Immunity, a recommendation I have for everyone's portfolio. Good stuff. Also, Dave East dropped a collaboration with Millie's. Never heard of him before this project. And I will say there's one quality joint from that Pablo and Blanco EP, the track Chapo. Those are just few stars in the vastness of space of this week. I mean, what did you really expect from Young Nudie or Young M.A.? Did you really think YG and Mozzie was gonna be fire? If you did, I think it's time for you to start investing in index funds. But in better news, a new underground IPO just got clearance from my SEC, or the Security Exchange Commission, basically the people who perform quality control on a stock before they allow them on the exchange, and I am proud to bring you Baltimore MC Wish Granted, man of the Kanye bloodline. And yes, we're talking the college dropout era. The best thing about him is he understands that Kanye being unique is what made Kanye, instead of trying to be Kanye. You hear this in the songs Haters and Don't Complain off Wishful Thinking, the EP. My issue is, yes, I heard the new project too, and I'm hoping that you can do better in the future. But definitely 2 stocks that you must have in your portfolio. But let's go ahead and look at some of the most trending stocks of this week. Future is up. Do petty and quality music go hand in hand? As a leak came out not long ago, Future dissing his ex, Lori Harvey, stating, "Tell Steve Harvey, I don't wanna." I guess that's bars for trap rappers. Don't get me wrong, it sounds like a banger. But how many times have you seen a stock go green for 10 minutes and then go down for the rest of the day? All I'm saying is, there could be a good reason why the rest of the song hasn't come out yet. This is why you do your homework on a stock before you say that it's a classic. Otherwise, you'll use up all of your capital and no one will believe you when something good comes out. Yes, social media went wild for this moment, but are we really interested in a grown man making a rap diss about his ex? An arena that has seen KRS-One versus MC Shan, Jay-Z versus Nas, Jeezy versus WAP, Meek versus Drake. Now we have to endure failed relationships? I'm honestly shocked that Sierra hasn't hired me as a ghostwriter to eat you up on a track. All she would have to do is come up with the dance. You're doing the ancestors a disservice by being this emotional. Man up. But this could be the most interesting thing in music for the next 3 weeks. Like I said, music is down. For those of you who don't follow my underground portfolio, this is like having to watch the latest Saw movie because you didn't know Army of the Dead premiered on the underground. A good movie. How are we playing this stock? There's no such thing as bad publicity. The hype of the top thirst trap versus petty god. That is too much for the masses to ignore. I might have to cover this stock more than I want to. There's going to be a peak of interest before this stock disappears, or it will linger in the background of life like, say, 50 Cent and Vivica. And who actually cares about 50 Cent and Vivica right now? Picture Future versus all of his women 15 years later. I bet VH1 will have a show about it. Even if the track ends up great, I'm not buying this. Even if Michael B. Jordan joins in, I'm not buying this. It doesn't end well either which way you slice it. Pusha T is up. Speaking of versus Drake, recently Drake won Billboard's Artist of the Decade and celebrated it by having dinner at SoFi Stadium, the newest football stadium in Los Angeles on the 50-yard line. But because he brought his son Adonis to the stage, Pusha T trends. You realize this is going to follow this boy for his entire life. Think about it. Have you seen Haley, aka Eminem's daughter, recently? How many people have forgotten all the things Eminem has said about her and her mother to this day? But Pusha T did bully him into actually being in his child's life. And every time you see him, it will be a reminder of that. This reminds me of my review of that beef, where I stated Drake's music was so much better that he'll be able to withstand this. He is eating on the 50-yard line of a stadium that fans haven't even been allowed to enter yet, and Push is on Twitter claiming his children's book isn't being published. Yes, I'm sure Drake has the power to blackball you, which is a sucker move, but you can't define the clapback now, can you? Now, I did undervalue the damage that Pusha T did though. He will always have his place in history for that. Respect. But would you say that is more disrespectful than, say, Gucci? Would you say that the music alone measured up to, say, Nas versus Jay-Z? Not really. A battle that had historical potential will fade from the history books only to be remembered through an aging child that will have to deal with it every day. So how are we playing this stock? This is a pump fake. Don't touch it. Pump fakes are when a stock goes up one day, then falls the rest of the week. I have no faith that this will lead to quality music because we would have gotten that by now. Yes, Push came out saying that his latest album is going to be the album of the year, but when has he ever came out saying that his album was going to be just aight, as his last bunch of efforts have been pretty much closer to trash? Only if this Pusha T album is any good will we reconsider in buying into this stock. And life is down because we're getting a Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy. We will marvel as Bow Wow washes Soulja Boy with childhood songs written by legends like T.I. to Snoop Dogg, while Soulja Boy will barely put up a fight with what? Crank That? Kiss Me Through the Phone? Too bad he can't use his interviews as a song. Real talk, Soulja Boy should be part of a separate division. The one-hit wonder tournament with Soulja Boy, the franchise boys, Chief Keef, Young M.A. can all struggle for relevance. Now, I'm not saying that this won't be entertaining. How do you think Soulja Boy will react to getting bodied by who's become a meme stock over the last few years? We make fun of Bow Wow, but his childhood catalog is only rivaled by who? Chris Brown, maybe? Who, as I think about it, he probably should have been battling. But if anyone could choke up an easy victory, it would be Bow Wow. The guy who posted a photo of a private plane only to be spotted in coach, that guy can lose anything that he sets his mind to. The guy that doesn't want a relationship, but what he wants can only be defined as a relationship. We are only missing Meek Mill from the Battle Royale of L's. How are we playing this stock? We never give up on life. Sure, we may have a minute before quality music becomes the headline again, but we can be entertained by the petty squabbles and a bigger blowout game than the Clippers versus the Mavericks. But it's weeks like this which make the best weeks valuable. The journey is never a straight line in investments. There will be drastic swings in any which direction that you must endure. As long as there are great musicians pushing their craft to the limit, music overall will continue to climb and the success from it will be passed down to the next generation.